So we've got a Spartan GT Trac here. We're getting ready to service this morning. Now I've seen these mowers for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. I don't believe that they've been around for too long, but this one's in just for a standard service right now. I'm not sure exactly how many hours this one has on it, but customer's been happy with it so far. But I'm just going to go over some of the things that I do and I don't like about this unit. So we'll dive right in. The heavy deck on it, great. I mean, it's got some good beef to it. I mean, this thing's solid. So if you look up underneath, you've got a lot of access to everything. Now normally there's panels that cover here and stuff. He's got all those taken off, but you can get right in here and get everything cleaned out pretty well. So pretty nice as far as that goes. You can spot your grease zert right here on your swing arm. That is about the only grease zert on the unit. That leads me to my next thing, that it's not really made to last, you know. Again, most of these mowers used to have grease zerts on everything, where everything moved on the front forks. There's no grease zert anywhere, not even on the wheel bearings. So none of that's greasable whatsoever on any of it. Now they are 4-ply tires, which is kind of standard for a unit this big. I do like the parking brake feature in the front. It's got the lock and unlock just right there at your toes. Nice, easily accessible up underneath. Also, you can just lift the front cover. You can see everything. You can get to it. You can change anything out. That's great. Now it does have a stabilizer arm, kind of like a strut sitting right there. And what that does is keep the vibration out of the belt. Now this thing vibrates pretty bad in my opinion. I don't think it does real well in that regard. I think the belt jumps a lot even with that stabilizer arm. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, the deck doesn't seem to, and I guess it moves pretty good side to side, but deck doesn't seem to be bad whatsoever. It's got these bumpers on it to kind of keep you from marring it up so bad. As far as the underside goes, everything's built heavy duty down here. Now this thing's definitely taken some beating over I don't know, a few years he's had it or whatever. Again, I don't really know how old it is. Real good design. It keeps everything nice and out of here, so it doesn't build up real bad. You can see after a year of cutting, there's just some build up right here, but really nothing else. You know, everything stays pretty clean. It's been a pretty good mower for the guy, or at least so he says. Now these hydro pumps on them are Parker hydro pumps. Not sure if you can see that tag there or not. Not real familiar with these pumps at all. I haven't really had a chance to have any issues with them. They just started selling these a few years ago, maybe 4 I believe, at a local dealer. So we've seen more and more and more of them. Now this is the RZ HD 730cc, and again, I'm not real skilled in what the different options are on these mowers yet, but this has the Kawasaki FR730V. I'm pretty sure they offer some different options as far as the engine and the decks go. This has the 61-inch deck on it. Nice big deck, and they are a pretty well-built unit. You know, I do like how well built they are. They seem kind of like tanks. Now they are pretty heavy, I believe. Just by looking at them anyway. They've got the quick drain down here. You can see it comes out of the side. The thing I don't like about the quick drain on this is if they would have made it about, I don't know, an inch or 2 longer, it'd come all the way out to the back so you could drain it real nice. At this point, you've either got to cam something up or tie it up, that way it comes out past the frame. That, or try to route it over to the other side, down through here. Hope you don't hit on your belts and everything else as you're going down through that side. So, you know, add a couple inches more never hurts anything. So that's nice. The only suspension it has on it is these little rubber boots that the seat sits on that keeps you from bouncing, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people, you know, mow without suspension all the time and are perfectly happy with that, but it can be a rather bumpy ride with this unit. So some of the other ones with a little bit more suspension, definitely a good thing. Again, everything is accessible on this, very well so. I mean, That's my favorite thing about this, is that, you know, pretty much anything you need to do on this unit, you know, from, you've got your safety switch right there, anything from your safety switches to your belts to your pulleys to battery, anything you need to do on this unit, even if you're flushing the tank or anything like that, everything's all right there up top. You know, you need to pull that grommet out and pull the fuel tank out or do whatever you need to do there, you don't really have to go through a bunch to get to anything. You can see right down here on the bottom side, you've got your pull or your wiring going to your switches, one on each side. I mean, that's great from a service standpoint. Now, them not being made to last without grease zerks is my least favorite thing about the thing, but Kawasaki engine, definitely a great engine. They got the nice 4-ply tires, the nice deck. One of the things that I really don't like about the unit, though, is that it's not serviceable, and the adjustment for the deck right here is pretty nice. You just push it down, and then you go ahead and adjust the deck height here. Just turn it whatever setting you want it on. So that's nice. But this here, this is a control board. So it doesn't have a key. You're going to enter a code and then hit start. That's going to go ahead and start your mower up. From there, you can turn it back off by pushing the button again. But if you just enter the code, you can change the, reset the oil, do some different things with maintenance on here. It's got maintenance timers, but I've seen these already go bad and they haven't been around very long. Now, if this is just sitting out in the weather, water is going to get down in there. Now, back up underneath, there is some rubber to protect it, and I believe you can replace the PTO switch on the back of the board separately. But either way, in my opinion, that's not a great design whatsoever. So it's also got a 12-volt, like a cigarette outlet type, in case you want to charge something while you're mowing. Now, I don't really know anybody that would want to do that, but again, with this, there's just a tiny little cover over the top. Water is going to get down in that at some point, you know, if it's left out in the weather, and you're going to have issues with it. So why they didn't go with just a standard ignition and things here, probably just due to proprietary, you know, make it nice and new age, and hey, we'll do this and people will think it's cool type thing. But in my opinion, that's the one main downfall of this unit, that and that they don't really make it to last. You know, this stuff should be greasable. Everything on mowers should be greasable, and if they're not allowing you to grease it, it's just not going to last as long. You know, as I always say, they tell us that these bearings are, you know, sealed bearings. They're good for, the grease is good for the life of the bearing. Well, yes, it definitely is. It's good for the life of the bearing. The life's just not going to be as long as what it would be if you could grease it. So this deck is very, very heavy duty. Again, I mean, it's nice, probably 1/4 inch gauge steel. You're not going to have any issues in that regard, which in this price range is probably one of the things that should be lauded the most. That should be something that you seek, because a lot of these in the same price range are just going to be junk decks. They're going to be something made out of rolled steel or inferior quality. And this stuff's, I mean, it is built to last, but the wear parts are not built to last. You know, I mean, they've got bushings in here, but those bushings eventually are going to fail too. And then you're going to be in a whole nother issue. The front forks, I mean, it's got bearings and stuff in here on both axles, but without any grease. You know, how long is that going to last for a commercial guy? It may last for a while for sure, but it's not going to last forever. If you were able to grease it, that'd be great. You know, me as a service guy, I'm sitting here like, oh, I got to get my grease gun out. Yeah, for one grease zert on my deck. It's the only reason I need to pull it out is for this grease zert right here. Other than that, nothing. So yes, I'll grease that up. That's great. I'm glad that they got one on the swing arm, because otherwise that would get real locked up real quick. But everything else non-greasable. But overall, I'd say this is a good mower with industry standards and everything the way that they are, with mowers being built at the way that they are, which is kind of about the same as this. You know, serviceability is kind of thrown out the window on all of them anymore. For the price on it, I'd say it's a definite buy. As long as you can deal with kind of that hard seat, where you don't have a lot of bounce to it, you know, not a lot of suspension or anything else. Serviceability wise though, it's definitely a winner. This is a winning machine as far as somebody who's going to do it themselves and things like that, because you're going to be able to do it easy, and no matter what needs done on this unit, you as somebody who's halfway mechanical should be able to take care of it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.